So what I'm going to do is talk about each of the components of such an ecosystem. And then I'm going to transition, and then I'm going to give some concrete examples. So the components I think are most important are this. Ethics infrastructure. That is the local day-to-day tools that everyday practitioners can be trained to use and follow, even without knowing a ton of ethics. It consists of things like simple rules and checklists that include things on a checklist like, hey, you'd better go get some more help because you're in real trouble. It also includes things like local oversight, people monitoring and making sure that people are following the rules. Another key component of the ethics ecosystem is what I'm going to call ecosystem governance. That's the policy, laws, and regulation that reinforce that local ethics infrastructure. They say, here's the punishment for violating this. Here's the benefit you get from following the rules. Education, training, and outreach. That teaches people how to follow those rules. It's the training you get to follow the ethics infrastructure, to use it, to deploy it, and also the tools to educate people about the ecosystem so they can come to trust that ecosystem. Fourth component, foundational to translational research. No ecosystem is perfect. There's always edge cases, there's always ethical challenges. We need people constantly thinking about how to make the ecosystem better, how to solve foundational problems, and then how to translate that into better governance, better ethics tools, better education and training. So that's the foundational to translational research. The middle component, the sort of central two components, are one, a shared set of language and concepts so that people in the ecosystem can talk to each other easily. And then the other part is interdisciplinary practitioners. We do need some people to learn all those lessons I mentioned, and they can serve as a foundation for translating across the different components. There's also two, I think, features that are worth calling out, features and functions. One is that in a good ethics ecosystem, these parts are coordinated. I've already described it that way. The laws, the rules, the governance reinforces the infrastructure, and the education does the same, and sometimes the governance will mandate certain educational requirements. So there's a coordination between all the components. And then one of the best features of a good, or functions maybe, of an ecosystem is that it enculturates the people in it. They start to see the world through an ethical lens of the ecosystem in which they work. The ethical problems of the space are sort of like, just appear to them in a particular kind of way. And this will be clearer when I give my example.